Hello students, welcome back to the class. So the last class we have discussed about Ashok Mehta community, LM Singhvi community. In this class we are going for a new topic, 73rd Amendment 1992. We have already discussed that LM Singhvi community have recommended, and based upon the recommendation PV Narasimha Rao have made some following amendment in the Panchayat bill. So we will discuss about the 73rd Amendment 1992. What is the 73rd Amendment which was made according to the Constitution in 1992? So we are going forward, students. If you are talking about 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, so this act was being implemented in 1992. This act was passed, and this is about the part 9 of the Indian Constitution from 243 to 244O, which contain nearly 16 articles. So this one amendment contains nearly 16 articles we can find. So this is about the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, which was mainly amended in 1992, and this is about the part 4 of the Indian Constitution from 243 to 244O, which contains nearly 16 articles. So Panchayat Raj, whatever the amendments were made, 73rd Amendment, 74th Amendment, and this were amended in 1992 only, changes. We will discuss about that point. During that time, the Prime Minister PV Narasimha Rao have made amendment. He have accepted whatever the recommendation which was proposed by LM Singhvi committee. He have accepted the recommendation of LM Singhvi, and PV Narasimha Rao have made some following amendment, and he passed the bill on based upon 73rd Amendment. That is our 73rd change which we have made in Constitution. This according to the Panchayat Raj institution, we have made some changes to improve and to strengthen the better functioning of Panchayat Raj institution. This is 73rd changes. 73rd Amendment means 73rd changes we have made in our Indian Constitution. Now this is all. Now this mainly deals with the Constitution, and this came into force. This act was passed in 1992 changes, but this was completely came into force in 1993, April 24, 1993. So this is one point. So during this period this act came into force. So 1993. Now we will discuss about what are the important provision of this act. Okay, what are the important provision of 73rd Amendment, or what are the important things which are there in the act, we will discuss here. First one, if you see the provision of act, when we are talking about the provision of act, Gram Sabha, okay, so village is mainly consists of Gram Sabha. This is includes in the article 243 subsection A, which is in Gram Sabha. So Gram Sabha mainly deals with the article 243A. So every village, okay, village is mainly under the control of Gram Sabha. So under this they have made some provision, and these articles are in the article 243A of Indian Constitutions are mainly deals with Gram Sabha. Okay, and this act says that Gram Sabha should be set up at village level, and whenever the Gram Sabha should be set up at village level, that should be set up in the proper Panchayat area. And who were the voters? Registered voters in this particular area, registered voters in the particular Panchayat areas, so they will only select the head of Gram Sabha. So Gram Sabha, every village should have a Gram Sabha. So here already we have discussed Gram Sabha is mainly deals with the article, okay, 243 articles, subsection A of Indian Constitutions are mainly deals with Gram Sabha. So when we are talking about Gram Sabha, an act was passed. So Gram Sabha should be set up at village level, and that Gram Sabha should comes in a particular Panchayat area. That area should be considered as the registered voters. Okay, whenever the particular Panchayat area, in that area the Gram Sabha should be set up. So that particular Panchayat area, the registered voters, okay, the registered voters can able to select the member of Gram Sabha. Okay, the member of same Gram Sabha can able to become the registered voters. The registered voter of Gram Sabha will select the members of Gram Sabha. Now what are the composition of Panchayat? See, so in this they have accepted the three type Panchayat Raj institution. Village level they should be Gram Panchayat, at block level they should be the Panchayat Samiti, and district level they should be the Zilla Parishad. Okay, so in this Act 1990, whatever the changes they have made, they accepted this 3-tier Panchayat Raj institution. In this 3-tier Panchayat Raj institution, village level, Gram Panchayat should be at village level, and at block level, Panchayat Samiti should be at block level, and at district level, if you see, Jilla Parishad should be at district level. We have already discussed what are the main functioning of this point. Okay, so for example, at district level, the registered district voters can able to elect the important members of Jilla Parishad. But if you see here, the member of village panchayats are appointed directly, but the member of Panchayat Samiti and Jilla Parishad are appointed indirectly. So whenever the members are appointed directly here, the member of Gram Sabha, when they are appointed directly, how they are appointed? They are appointed in the same panchayat area of the registered voters can able to elect the members of Gram Panchayat directly. What are the functions of this? The functions of the Gram Panchayat, the functions of block at Panchayat Samiti, and the functions of district at Jilla Parishad. The main role is to develop the village, construction activities, development activities, improving the upliftment of weaker section of the people, encouragement, even encouragement to the peoples to choose as a new path of entrepreneurship, okay, new path of business, okay, setting up of small scale industries, encouraging them to set up small scale industries, okay, providing the waters, providing the sanitations, etc. So these are the main functions of these 3 important things. So here this is the composition of panchayat. So they have set up the 3-tier Panchayat Raj institutions at last. Now how the elections are conducted? If you see, directly the elections are conducted. When you are talking about Gram Sabha, most of the people's direct elections will be conducted. Okay, so almost all the direct elections will be conducted for everybody. First one, wards. Ward. Whenever if you are selecting a ward wise, elections will be conducted directly. When you are conducting the head of village panchayat, sarpanch, when you are electing for the post of sarpanch also, elections will be conducted directly. Now MPTS in the sense Mandal Parishad Territorial Constituency. MPTS full form Mandal Parishad Territorial Constituency. In this also, whenever if you are electing the member of Mandal Parishad Territorial Constituency members, if you are appointing, there also elections will be conducted directly. So if you are appointing ZPTS, now what is called ZPTS? Jilla Parishad Territorial Constituency. So when we are appointing the Mandal Parishad Territorial Constituency, or when we are appointing the Jilla Parishad Territorial Constituencies, in both the sides the members are appointed directly. So here most of the elections are conducted directly in the Panchayat Raj institution. Okay. So what are the elections which are conducted directly? See, not all the things, but there are some positions where the elections are conducted indirectly, but for most of the positions elections are conducted directly by votings. Okay, by registered voters will come and they will vote. So these types of elections. Now elections for the wards, elections for sarpanch, elections for MPTS, and elections for ZPTS. Okay, so wards, sarpanch, Mandal Parishad Territorial Constituency, Jilla Parishad Territorial Constituency elections will be conducted. Now next come to the point, indirect elections, to whom they are conducting. Deputy sarpanch. Whenever the sarpanch is appointed, but deputy sarpanch is also very important. So deputy sarpanch, how the elections will be conducted? Indirectly. That type of elections which are conducted indirectly for the following positions are: first one, deputy sarpanch; second one, chairperson of Jilla Parishad, deputy chairperson of Jilla Parishad. So whenever the chairperson and deputy chairpersons are appointed for the various level, the chairperson and deputy chairpersons are mainly appointed elections which are conducted indirectly. So this is about the elections which are conducted direct election, and that for the elections which are conducted for indirect positions. There are some positions where elections are conducted indirectly. Now next point, reservations. When you are discussing about reservations, this act has provided reservations to the various weaker section of the people as well as women also. Okay, now we will discuss what is the percent of reservation. This act has provided a reservation for SC and ST caste. Okay, some certain seats are reserved for the SC and ST caste according to the population. See, in most of the population, if many are SC, then everybody will not be accepted for the position. So based upon the population, the reservations are given for SC and ST. Okay, that is one point. So reservations which were not mentioned, how much percent, but reservations are given for SC and ST according to the respective of the population, reservations will be given. Second thing, women. When we are talking about women, 33%. Previously, if you see, for women's for the position of women's, 33% are 33% of the seats which are there at these three levels, that are mainly reserved for the women's only. Okay, even though today when we are talking about the parliamentary positions, even though reservations are very high, but the contest for conducting for elections by the women are very less in our country. Even today also, if you see, in that elections when their participation of women are very less. So what is the main purpose of giving reservations 33% to the women? So that active participation of women is very, very important. To develop the society and to develop the country, women should participate regularly, and that's why here for all the bases reservations for the women were given nearly 1/3 of the percent, means 33% of reservations were given for women. Now when we are talking about the present state Telangana, when we are talking for BC caste reservation, presently the Telangana government have extended reservation facilities for some section of the people. When you are talking about BC, there the reservation is 30%, and when you are talking about women, the reservations will be nearly 50% of reservations are given for women. So this is one part. So children, we have discussed mainly about 73rd amendment of Panchayat Raj institution. So what we have discussed here, in this point we have discussed that this 73rd Constitution Amendment Act was passed in 1992. This is the 73rd means 73rd time we are changing the constitution. This is the 73rd change in the constitution. Okay, this is the 73rd changes in the constitution. Amendment means any changes in the constitution is called as amendment. So now this amendment was made according to the part 9, 243 to 240O, okay, of the constitution, which contain nearly 16 articles. Now here if you see, this is mainly deals with the constitution, and these articles came into force in 24th April 1993. So changes were made. Children, whenever the changes are made, suddenly it will not be implemented. So whenever, suppose for example, any changes are made in the parliament, to implement it will take some time. Okay, effective implementation it will take some time. So that's why here act was implemented in 1992. But when it was these changes were made in April 24, 1993. The following changes were made and implemented. So provision of the act, according to this act, Gram Sabha is mainly deals with the article 243A of the Indian Constitution. This act says that at village level Gram Sabha should be set up, and every village level there is a Gram Sabha, and this Gram Sabha comes under the Panchayat area, and that Panchayat area of the registered voters are the voters of the Gram Sabha, and they will elect the various positions of Gram Sabha members. Here what are three tiers of Panchayat Raj institutions? What are their? Village level Gram Sabha, block level Panchayat Samiti, and district level we have discussed about Zilla Parishad. Okay, now what are the positions for direct and indirect elections? Elections are normally conducted directly and indirectly. For example, for village level, almost all the positions elections are conducted directly. Few positions like deputy sarpanch, where the positions where elections are conducted indirectly. Now here if you see, the direct elections are mainly conducted for wards. Direct elections are mainly conducted for sarpanch. So direct elections are conducted for MPTS. MPTS means what? Mandal Parishad Territorial Constituency. That is a full form of MPTS, Mandal Parishad Territorial Constituency. ZPTS, Zilla Parishad Territorial Constituency. So all these members are appointed directly. Now indirect elections, when you are talking, indirect elections are mainly conducted for deputy sarpanch, chairman of Zilla Parishad and deputy chairman of Zilla Parishad. Whatever the chairman positions are there, or deputy chairman positions are there at various level. So indirect elections are conducted for the particular position. Reservations are mainly given for SC and SC. Reservations will be given according to the respective population. Imagine when all the populations are very high, then everybody will not get reservations. Most of the reservations, either women's or either SC and ST, okay, high reservations are given according to the population only. The reservations are given. Next, now women's approximately reservation is 33%. 1/3 of reservations are given to women. Today also I said that in the parliament reservations are given to the women so that women should participate actively in the parliament. Their numbers should increase. Okay, if you wanted to develop our country, active participation of women is very, very important. Okay, next one, at present when you are talking about Telangana state, for the BC reservations are given for 30%, and for women's reservations are given 50%. So children, this is the 73rd amendment we are discussing about the topic. In the next class we will continue the same topic, 73rd amendment of constitution. Thank you very much.